Dear friends, today we have a special episode of Super Tony's Adventures. Enjoy! Wow, Tony, I see that you and your friend have decided to throw a pajama party. And do you know what is the best activity when the sun has set and darkness has taken over the world? Telling scary stories. So listen carefully. A high school student was very bored at class and was looking at the window. He then saw a photograph lying on the grass. During recess, he went out and picked it up. It was a photo of a very beautiful girl in a red dress and red shoes. She was showing 2 fingers. The boy started asking around to see if anyone knew the girl, but nobody did. After coming home, he placed the photograph next to his bed. In the middle of the night, he woke up hearing a soft sound. The sound of someone scratching at the window, and then he heard a woman laughing. The boy went out of his house to see where the laughter was coming from. It sounded farther and farther, but the boy didn't realize how he ended up in the middle of the street. And then a car hit him. The driver stopped and tried to save the boy, but it was too late. And then the man noticed a photograph next to the boy. He saw a very beautiful girl in a red dress and red shoes. She was now showing 3 fingers. What, are you scared? Haha, this is just the beginning. Listen to the next story. This time it happened to me. Some time ago, I was putting my son to sleep when he told me, "Daddy, can you check if there's any monsters under my bed?" Just for fun, I decided to look under the bed, and I saw a boy looking exactly like my son. He was shaking with fear, and he whispered to me, "Daddy, there's someone on my bed." Boo! Hey, stop shaking. I was joking. I found this story online. So, for dessert, let me tell you the most hair-raising story ever. So, day 326, and the internet is still not working. Terrifying, right? Okay, no more stories, relax. Tony, come here right now. I got a new challenge for you. Are you ready to try it? Today, I'm gonna tell you the scariest story I know, and your mission is not to get scared. So friends, join us, and after you watch the video, tell us in the comments if it was scary. You can be sure that Tony and I read all your comments and enjoy every word and every like. Let's go. In some hospitals, patients wear a colored wristband with their names on it. The color of the wristband depends on the patient condition and their diseases. For example, red wristbands mean that a patient has passed away. Once upon a time, a surgeon was working late at night, performing an especially difficult operation. When he finished, he went to the basement, which, by the way, was the place where the morgue was. He entered the elevator along with an unknown woman. When the elevator arrived to the basement, the doors opened and he saw another woman waiting to go up. But before she had time to move, the doctor shut the elevator's door and pressed the button to the last floor. The woman inside was very surprised by the rude behavior of the doctor and asked for an explanation. The surgeon told her that he had just operated that woman, but sadly she had died, which was obvious since she was wearing a red wristband. The woman smiled, raised her hand and said, "Like this one?" Boo! So dear friends, today you are going to hear some scary stories that you shouldn't tell in the dark. Let's start. A young photographer decided to spend some time alone in the woods. He took an old film camera with him and spent the day taking pictures of the landscape, the trees, and the bushes. When the night came, he put up his tent and slept there. It was a quiet night, but a few days later, he developed the film and noticed that something wasn't right. All photos were great except for the last one, where he saw himself sleeping pleasantly in his tent in the middle of the night. Are you scared, Tony? Mwahaha! This is just the beginning. Some guy was wandering through the woods. He had been walking for a long time when he stumbled upon an old, abandoned house. There was no one inside, so he decided to take a nap. He had some problems falling asleep because there were many portraits in the room and the people in them were looking at him. But he was feeling tired, and in the end, he fell asleep. When the sun woke him up in the morning, he didn't see any portraits in the room, only windows. Holy moly! Now I'm scared too, Tony. But I have one last story that will keep you awake at night at least for a week. This is a story about a little girl and her father. One day, he had to work late and was supposed to come back late at night. So, the little girl didn't wait for him and went to bed before he came home. And she had a scary nightmare. She saw her father somewhere far away screaming, "Don't open the door!" Suddenly, someone rang the doorbell. The little girl woke up and came to the door. She looked through the peephole and saw the face of her father. She was about to open the door, but suddenly remembered her nightmare. So she asked, "Father, is that you?" No one answered, but the doorbell kept ringing. "Father, answer me!" But there was no answer. "Father, I won't open the door if you don't answer me," howled the little girl. Someone kept ringing and ringing, but there was no answer. The little girl sat in the corner, all in tears, and fell asleep without even noticing it. In the morning, she woke up and everything was silent. She opened the door and screamed. Her father's head had been nailed down to the door, and there was a note on the doorbell with only 2 words in it: "Clever girl." Boo! And good morning to you, Tony. Oh, I didn't know you were afraid of spiders. Come on, there's nothing to be ashamed of. It is a pretty common fear known as arachnophobia. By the way, there are many phobias out there, and you probably haven't heard about some of them. Let's check them on you. Tony, are you ready for some experiments? Then let's go. Have you heard about a disorder known as hylophobia? It is the fear of trees, forests, or wooded areas. Usually, this phobia appears after watching a film or hearing a story featuring a dreadful forest with evil trees. People with hylophobia can have panic attacks during a walk in the park, and some can't even think about forests without freaking out. And here's a phobia that appeared quite recently. It is known as nomophobia, and it's the fear of being without a mobile device. These people can't leave their phone for a second. They take it to the shower and the toilet. And if they find themselves in a place without cell phone connection, they can easily have a mental breakdown. There is another disorder known as cyberphobia. It is the irrational fear of computers. It's hard to imagine how these people live in the modern world. The only thing they can do is probably go live in the woods, far away from all these modern gadgets. Hopefully they don't suffer from hylophobia too. Finally, here's a really strange phobia. It is the irrational fear of beards. Yeah, Tony, it is a real phobia known as pogonophobia. People suffering from this phobia don't like or even hate any kind of hair on the face. They believe that beards are not only unhygienic, but also hide the true feelings of people wearing it. By the way, we don't know if there's a phobia of likes and subscribers, but Tony and I certainly don't suffer from it. So, give us some likes and subscribe, friends. It will make us very happy. Tony, look what I got. Oh, I forgot he's afraid of spiders. That's okay, Tony. Everything is fine. You can get out. I won't do it again. By the way, do you know where phobias come from and how to get rid of them? Oh, I'm gonna tell you all about it. It's gonna be exciting. Basically, a phobia is a specific reaction to external stimuli, but it differs from fear by being an irrational reaction. So, if you're afraid of an evil dog running at you, that's normal, because your life is in danger. But if you panic when you see a little dog on a leash, that's a phobia. Let's see how it works. The secret is inside our brain, in the temporal lobe, to be more specific. Here you can find something known as an amygdala. When you come across something scary, this thing starts producing hormones that bring your body into a state of full alert. The body releases adrenaline, the heart starts beating faster, and blood pressure rises. That's what happens when you're scared. But where do phobias come from? They can be caused by a strong emotional shock, especially if it happened during childhood. Being bitten by a dog, having a bad experience in the pool, or some kind of injury. All of these events can lead to the appearance of a phobia. By the way, scientists have found out that phobias are not only acquired, but also innate. It turns out that parents can pass on their phobias to their children through their DNA. And finally, the most interesting part, how to get rid of a phobia. Well, of course, the best way would be to see a psychotherapist. They specialize in this kind of problems. However, there is a technique known as fear ladder, and you can try it yourself. It is based on the fact that we have to contact the source of our fear, gradually increasing the degree of contact. For example, Tony, let's conduct some experiments on you. You are afraid of spiders, right? So first, let's just look at pictures of these creatures. They're not that scary, are they? Now you can try coming closer to a small spider. Get used to it. After that, you can take it in your arms. Well, you get the idea. Not in vain people say that the best way to get rid of fear is facing it. But do it only in the presence of adults. You know, something can always go wrong. If you have a panic attack at the wrong moment, you might get hurt. Everything has to be done wisely. So, while our friend is trying to defeat his arachnophobia, tell us in the comments what phobias you have and how to deal with them. The best story will be featured in the next episode. Give us a like and click on the bell so you won't miss the new Super Tony's adventures. Bye-bye!